the end of the night, I said, the old man, I'm done. I'm quitting.
The thing about second chances is you never know where they're going to come from.
Hello?
I needed a miracle to really get people talking.
Come on, try out for the St. Paul Saints, all right?
Little did he know, redemption is a two-way street.
It could not fail. I would come home and be scared to death.
You never let it show.
I'm here with Mike Veeck. We're talking Saint of Second Chances, coming out on Netflix September 20th. I just watched it with my girlfriend, Mike. It was so well done, so well put together. Charlie Day, most known for Always Sunny in Philadelphia, he starred as young Mike. What was it like working with him and seeing you or your younger self on screen?
He's too good looking to play me. That's, let's just get that right out there. I mean,
give yourself some credit. Come on.
But what he did in that performance, what he captured, was the chip I had on my shoulder. I mean, he had an attitude, and that was the part that most impressed me, that I was just like, man, there really is something to this. And when he said, I worked harder at this, I thought that was such a tribute to Jeff and to Morgan to get that performance, but he caught it.
Yes, he did. Now, it felt like you were just simply ahead of your time with those game day initiatives, Ball Pig, Skybox, the promos, all that. When did you realize you were ahead in that regard?
Actually, I know there was a moment, and I was working for the Tampa Bay Devil Rise, and we were having a meeting, and we had a long table and, 7 department heads or something, one of those meaningless blah, 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 blah. And I was so used to suggesting ideas and having collaborations, and suddenly everybody was like, well, we'll see if Vince Naimoli, the owner, likes this idea. And that was the moment, because when I get to a major league team, I've worked for 4 major league teams. It's always the same. I get there and they go, here comes that guy. He's so Bush, these minor league ideas. And so you have to prove, the first religious concert we had in Tampa, we drew 20,000 people. What do I care if we couldn't sell beer? I was just happy. But getting that done was unbelievable.
Now, obviously, so many lessons. This is kind of a two-parter, but what do you feel like your dad taught you most about being a father? And then later on in life, your kids taught you about that?
I thought in the arrogance of youth that my dad taught me nothing about being a parent. After I played my dad and was forced to look inside myself, I used to make the statement, you can find it anywhere, there's nothing left to say to my father. Well, that was a lie. There's a lot I should have said, because I didn't realize the tools that he gave me to be a father. He just didn't go, here's the diagram. He just lived this life. And when Night Train came along and I missed a lot of his growing up, I realized how important that was and how unimportant other things were. And my daughter, imagine when my daughter was diagnosed, first as being blind and then as dying, that made disco look like not such a big deal. And he had his priorities straight. And this film made me get my priorities straight, because I didn't have them. I used to think it was a tragedy when you didn't draw people. But every day when people see this film, they're reminded of their Rebecca. They're reminded of their dad and their mom. That's what I think the skillful filmmaking, ended up doing, is making us every man and woman.
When things were at their toughest for you, or the different moments where they were, what helped you get through?
Libby. I had to always return to the touchstone. And I realized as I watched my daughter die slowly, and many of the people we talk to that we live with every day are going through that same thing. You need to take a little bit extra time. You pass that person in the hall, ask about how Joe's doing, or is Cindy feeling better today? Because we need each other. It taught me how much I relied on all the people. I relied on Morgan and Jeff to tell this story with delicacy. But we rely, all of us, on one another every day. And I think that's a reminder that we could all use.
Thank you for that, Mike. And thank you for joining me. The Saint of Second Chances comes out on September 20th on Netflix.